Hello, and welcome to today's subscriber contract, Whittleton Creek List 1, set in Whittleton Creek and supplied to us today by Paul Anderson 37. So moving on to our briefing, 47 wants to finish almost everyone in Whittleton Creek. So moving on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them, along with a free map. So for today's challenge, we'll be starting at the default location. We're going to have the remote micro taser stored up in the park shed, and we're going to be bringing with us a lethal syringe, the micro remote explosive, and our silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, we are going to head straight over to the park shed, and we are going to retrieve our taser. That will come in handy a little bit later on. All of our targets are located over by Mrs. West's house, so that's going to be our next stop. And our first target is currently doing inventory outside by the big pink van. So we know how to deal with this young lady, and I quite enjoy it because the micro explosive fits perfectly into the van's logo's eye, so we can hide it very clearly. We don't need to worry about putting it straight in the eye though. Anywhere on the front of the van will do nicely, and then we're going to move a safe distance and detonate the explosive, and we are 1 target down. So once our first target has been eliminated, we're going to make our way into the west property, and we're going to head up the stairs to the first floor, where we will find ourselves on the wall a Billy the Bass. Now this Billy the Bass is battery operated and motion operated, so as soon as we approach it, it should start making loads of noise, and that will attract the attention of Mrs. West, who is our next target. So we're going to make our way into the spare bedroom, open the door and stand behind the door. That way we will be able to see Mrs. West when she arrives, but she will not be able to see us, and we can then deal with her accordingly when she arrives to turn off the singing fish. So here she comes now, and once she turns that fish off, we're just going to drop her with a bullet to the head. I was a little bit premature there, and the fish is still going. So we're going to quickly hide Mrs. West, as the fish will attract the attention of somebody else, and we will very much probably have to wait around. It's actually attracted the attention of another of our targets. So let's turn that off, that's rather annoying. So we have a choice now ahead of us. We can either eliminate our target with a bullet to the head, but that is not part of the requirements. I do believe he is a drowning requirement. Or we could render him unconscious and give him a neck massage, but again I believe he is a drowning requirement. So all that we can really do is wait for him to lose interest in the singing fish and go back to his routine. So he has actually triggered the fish and then turned it off again. He's completely ignoring that large pile of blood on the floor. That's going to stain the carpet. That's going to be very difficult to get out. And when he goes back to his usual routine, he was actually just about to make his way into the bathroom. So if he had not have been distracted by the Billy the Bass, he would already be demised, and we would have moved on to our next target. So we're just going to follow him at a discreet distance down the stairs, and when he makes his way into the bathroom, we can then follow him in, and we can give him a nice refreshing cold drink of water, and we are 2 targets, make that 3 targets down. Our next target is the gentleman who usually accompanies Mrs. West in the kitchen, but since she has been dealt with, he has started his usual routine, and that routine consists of him heading out of the property, I believe relieving himself out in the public area, and then coming back. So we're just going to jab him in the back with our lethal syringe. He will go down rather ungracefully and rather slowly. And we are now 4 targets down. So we're going to head out to our final target, who is located out in the garden area. We are going to go out via the kitchen window so that we're able to get behind our target. We're going to render him unconscious. We're going to drag him over towards the house, and just over here we will find ourselves a tap against the house here. This will be for watering the grass, no doubt. And we are just going to turn on the tap. We're going to drop our taser into the puddle. There we go. We're going to move a safe distance, preferably out of the puddle, before turning on the taser and eliminating our final target. So with all of our targets now dealt with, all that's left for us to do is to make good our escape, and unfortunately the nearest available safe exit will be the bus stop exit all the way back at the start of the map, because I didn't bring a crowbar with me. So there we go, one more subscriber contract taken care of, and once we get on our bus and get out of Whittleton Creek, we will get confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan. We had no objectives, and we get a silent assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.